that we are talking about the recording techniques related with the method study, and we have talked about the flow process chart, outline process chart, then flow diagram, and then string diagram. So this presentation I will start with one example related with the flow diagram. Also, like I gave one example related to the flow diagram in the last lecture, wherein we used that flow diagram for improving the plant layout. uh, in this case of the flow diagram that I will be presenting first, that how to optimize the movement pattern for reducing the fatigue, for reducing the time and the distances to be traveled, instead of just improving the layout. So in this case we don't need any change of the layout, but we need to just optimize the way by which the movement should be carried out to reduce the time and the distances to be traveled. So this is another example of the flow diagram only. Thereafter I will take up the travel chart and the flow diagram and string diagram are the two which are used primarily to record the path of the movement. But when the number of movements are very high, this is one, and the second, when the path to be covered is very complex. So in these two conditions, the string diagram and the flow diagram, string and flow, both these diagrams becomes very complex for visualization and to make the inferences from. So both these diagrams make our job difficult, especially with regard to the inferences being drawn or observations being made for the purpose of improvement. So if the observations and interpretations are difficult, then certainly the critical examinations and method of developing the improved method for improving the productivity, that will become difficult. So in these two cases, when number of movements are very high or the path of movement is very complex, leading to very maze of the crisscross lines. So you see, when we have this kind of situation, this will make the inferences and observations difficult. So to deal with this kind of the situation related with the movement of a man or material or machine, the travel chart has been developed. So the travel chart basically it's a tabular form chart which shows the all movements which are taking place, like from stations to the two stations. So these are the two main things in this chart. So these movements may be like 40, or these movements obviously whatever the movement will be taking place from one station, it will be ending somewhere. So in general, the from movements are almost always equal to the two movements when the journey is completed in a particular path. So there can be any number of the movements, any crisscross movement that can be easily presented here to make some meaningful interpretations and that will give us the opportunity to see how the improvement can be brought in as far as the layout is concerned, or the improvement in a situation is concerned. So But before talking about the travel chart, I want to talk about an example of the flow diagram. So this diagram, let me explain in brief. Like in a hospital, nurse is serving the food to the patients on the different beds. So there are 17 beds. Okay, the food is collected on the trolley, and then the plates are handed over to the patients by moving the plates from the trolley to the patients. So here in this case, like say these are the different beds. Okay, both the sides, 17 bed kind of arrangement is there. I will show you the PPT, but just to give idea, I will tell you like this. So what is being done currently, like the trolley is brought in from the kitchen, and this trolley has all arranged plates like this, okay, on the trolley. So what nurse is doing is like picking one plate and going to the one bed, then returning back going to the another bed, then returning back going to the third bed, like this. So this is how the things are being done currently. So the movement of you can say the material handling situation, a movement of the nurse is traced. You know how it is traced. How it is traced, we can do two things: flow process chart of the like the man type, because we are tracing the movement of the nurse, man or woman type, and then flow diagram. Both these can be used together to visualize the things with the greater clarity. Idea here is to see what can be done to reduce the time being taken in serving the food, and how to reduce the distance being traveled by the nurse in course of this service, and so as to reduce the related fatigue being caused. So this is the idea. So I'll quickly switch over to the this example, wherein what we can see here, what we can see, this is the flow chart, flow process chart for the movement of the nurse. So what it involves, like the flow process chart man type, the number of operations are 34 in present way of doing the things, and number of transports are 60. Okay, there are no other things. Distance traveled is like 436 meters, and the time taken is 39 minutes. Okay, so this is the existing way of doing the things. What has been shown here, the details of the different steps being followed for one bed has been shown here, and thereafter same is repeated to the remaining 16 times. So say the food is brought, transports, the first course and plates, okay, this is the case only, then kitchen to the serving table on the tray, then places the dishes on the dishes and plates on the table, then serves from three dishes to the plates, carries the plate to the bed 1. So this is where from earlier just preparation stage, and this is where from it starts, carries the plate to the bed 1 and serves, okay. Then comes back and then collects the plate and serves, goes to the bed 2 and return, and service is done. So this continues for 17 times. Okay, and then once the service is completed, so service completed, places the dishes on the tray and return to the kitchen. The total distance and the time for the first cycle, means to complete the this service of serving the food. It is, say, the distance covered is 132 meter, and then the time is 10.71 minutes. Okay, it involves, say, 17 operations and the 20 transports. So this cycle is repeated for the second course. Okay, again it is the same one. Then collects the empty dishes, second course plates, and then goes back. So this is the distance traveled for collecting the empty plates, and this is the time. So the total distance traveled to complete the one cycle of the service is this 23 minutes 0.42 and 436 meters distance traveled, total 34 operations and 60 number of the transports. So this has been shown with the help of this is the flow diagram. Earlier what I have talked, like every step is to be detailed out, every activity being done is detailed out in flow process chart, whether it is man, material or the machine type, and then path is traced, path is tracked. Okay, so this is for onwards journey. Okay, so here the initially what is being done, like the food is being brought in from the kitchen, and then the table is kept at the center like this, and then food is served. This is the kind of, like, one plate is collected and served at the bed 1. Okay, and then the firm line shows here, the firm line shows the existing way of doing the things, existing way of service. Okay, the dotted ones are the proposed one. About that I will talk little later. So this is the first case, like the nurse goes to the bed and then returns back, then collects another plate and then goes to the bed 2 and then does the service and then goes back again to the this serving table. So this is how the entire path is being traced. And after this critical examination is carried out. So when critical examination is carried out, there may be n number of questions, but the two simple questions which are coming up, like why nurse is carrying just one plate in one go. She could have taken the 2 plates and served the 2 beds in one go itself. So there was no valid justification, and of course it was also identified really how many plates she can carry. So the 2 plates can in any way carried by the nurse. So obviously, like, let's, instead of just taking one plate from the serving table and serving to the patients, let's take 2 plates and then do the service. So this can reduce the movement by 50% from bed to the this serving table, which is kept at the center. Another question coming here is, why it is kept at the center only? Why can't it be moved? Since the table is very much, serving table is very movable, very much movable, so of course it can be moved. So idea is to explore the possibility, if the serving table itself, which is carrying the plates and dishes, can be moved all along the beds where the service is to be done. So the first was to see like let the nurse take 2 plates and go for the service in every time, and the second one was let's move the serving table along the major path of the bed. So when these two suggestions were implemented, so the path was modified, and the way by which service was done, that was also modified, and the proposed, or you can say the updated or the modified the method of doing the service was modified method of doing the service was implemented. So what was done, like the material or the serving table brought from the kitchen, and then it stopped near the bed 1 and 2 at this location. The nurse took the 2 plates and did the service to the 2 beds in one go. Then again moved to the another location, say B, and then she does the same again for the bed 3 and bed 4. So this is how the kind of the movement which was followed, and the same was repeated. Okay, so this you can say this dotted line showing the improved method, and the firm lines are showing the existing method of doing the things. So when the two were compared, like this was the existing method and the improved method or the updated method, resulted in the significant improvement. And what happened, like after the implementing this change, the distance traveled was reduced to 197 meters from 436, and the time reduced from 23.42 minutes to 16.96 minutes. So, and similarly the number of operations also reduced, and the small distances traveled were increased. So the number of transports were in little higher, but the actual distances traveled were reduced significantly. So this led to the significant improvement. So if you see here the improvement earlier, the kind of change which was noted, like 436 minus 196 divided by 436. So this was a significant improvement. Similarly, with respect to the time, 23.4 minus how much it is, 16.98 divided by 23.4. So this resulted in like around 50-60%, 50 to 60. It is around actually 55 to 65%. So this was a little more as compared to this one. So reduction in distance being traveled was really significant, and that is expected to reduce the fatigue to the workers, and at the same time also it is reducing the time being consumed in doing the service. So the service is first and travel chart. Okay, so the travel chart is as I said, it is the tabular form. It is in tabular form and shows the number or the quantity of movements from to the two stations, from stations to the two stations. So it is very commonly used to to track the movement of workers. Like he is going from station A to station C 10 times, then station A to station D 2 times, then movement from station C to B 5 times. So all these movements, there can be so many movements, so many stations, and accordingly so many movements. If all are to be recorded, and it is to be identified if there is any possibility to bring these stations close to each other. Wherever we find that the traffic or the frequency of movement is high, so wherever there is a lot of traffic or the frequency of the movement is high, based on their location, efforts are made to bring those stations close to each other so that the extent of movement can be reduced. Distances to be traveled can be reduced. One more thing, this chart doesn't talk about the distance. No distance mentioned in this chart. It only talks about the frequency or the number of movements taking place between the different stations. While the flow diagram and the string diagrams give enough idea about the locations and the kind of the distances which will be traveled, along with the frequency of the movement, but in this case it gives only idea about the frequency or the number of movements between the two stations. It doesn't give idea about the distances being covered or the traveled. Okay, so before using that PPT, let me show you how it is made. So this is basically a square shape chart like this. Okay, you have same number of the columns and the rows. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So here at the top what we write, these are like say from stations, like in where we show like from which station movement is taking place. So from stations are mentioned here. So what we'll be doing, let's say the first row, define the stations. So station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then here we write 2 stations. So that from stations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the 2 stations. You know, movement from 1 to 1 cannot take place, so obviously this will be crossed. Similarly, movement from 2 to 2 cannot take place, so this will be crossed. This will be crossed. So this simply be going as a diagonal line, because movement from same station to the is not possible. So this is how one simple diagonal line will be coming. And how we represent the movement here, like say we start from station 1 to say 5 if movement is to be shown. So we'll start from movement 1, then we'll be going down until 5. Okay, so this is the block. Each block, each square block shows the kind of or the number of or frequency of the movement which is will be taking place, that will be marked. So this block shows the movement from 1 to 5. So this can be just two movements. So when the two movements are shown, we mark two tick mark like this. Okay, this is one thing. If the movement from 1 to 7 is to be shown, say three movements are taking place from 1 to 7, then we'll be putting the 3 mark like this. Okay. If the movement from 2 to 4 is taking place, say 10 movements are taking place, then we'll write 10 marks in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks like this are shown. So movements from a particular station to another station is shown, like we'll start from that particular from station and we'll keep on moving down until we reach to the column which is opposite to that of the two station where movement is taking place. Say we have to show the movement from 3 to 5 stations. 4 movements are taking place. So 3 to 5, we'll start from station 3 and we'll keep on moving down until we come across the box which is opposite to the station 5. So that is this. Okay. So here what we'll be doing, we'll be putting the 4 tick marks like this. Say the movement from station 6 to the station 2 are taking place. So station 6 is this. We will be moving down like this. Okay, up to the box which is opposite to the station 2. Okay, so here say 3 movements are to be shown. We will be simply putting these 3 marks. Okay, so this is how we show the movements from stations to the two stations. And likewise we can keep on showing, like from 4 to station 3, 5 movements are taking place like this, right? And from station 5 to the station 1, 6 movements are taking place like this. So these will be shown. So we'll keep on doing to show all these movements from particular station to another station like this. Okay. Thereafter, so say we can simply draw certain number of stations. So here it was 10, here it is 2, here it is 3, here it is. We can write numbers later on after counting these tick marks. 2, okay, and say here it is 5, then here it is 6, then here it is 3. Likewise, now we can keep on mentioning these numbers. So now here we have to prepare a summary row. So this summary which is being made here will be showing the movements from stations, summary of all movements from station 1. Okay, summary, this summary shows the movements from stations. Okay, so we'll just keep on moving down and keep on counting, like say 3, 2 and 3. So summary of all movements from station 1 is 5, 3 plus 2. Okay, 3 plus 2. Okay, summary of all movements taking place from station 2 will be obtained from 10 plus 2. So that will be mentioned 12. Okay, then summary of all movements taking place from sum of all movements taking place from station 3 is, say here in this case it is 4. Okay, here from sum of all movements which is taking place from station 4 is here 5. Okay, sum of all movements which are taking place is 6. Sum of all station movements which are taking place from station 6 is, say, 3. And likewise we can mention the movements here. It can be 7, it can be 9, anything. Okay, just for the sake of example here we can write. So here 7, sum of all movements from station 7 is 7, and then then it will be say 9. Okay. Now what we have to keep in mind, these are just for an example I have made here, like this is how to obtain the summary of the movement, and similarly we can identify the summary of all two stations, movement of two stations. Okay, so let me erase this. So here we will be getting the summary of two stations. So that is what will be mentioned. Okay, like this, summary of all two stations. Okay, so here you just see this all movements taking place from this is just an example. Otherwise, whatever movement is taking place, that should be equal from stations to the two stations, because whosoever is going in will be coming out. So so here just don't see that kind of difference which may come here, like say here the movement to the two stations to 3 is say 5. So actually it should have matched with this only. So that will be coming exactly when I will show the example in the next slide. Otherwise, summary we can show here from the sum of all these rows, like 10 movements from here, like this. Okay, and the 7, 9, 5 plus 16 plus 9, 21, like this, then 3 here, then 6 here. Okay, so but these should be equal in these two cases. Just for example, I have mentioned some values here and there, that is fine, but this is the way or procedure of determining the summary of all movements from stations to the two stations. Okay, like at the top here we mention the from stations where from movement is taking place. Okay, and here in the left side of the chart we are showing the movements to stations. Okay, and these are the stations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 10. And here likewise these are the two stations, station 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever movement is taking place from one particular station to the another station, that will be mentioned. So here, since we have 10 stations, so there will be equal number of the from stations to the two station numbers. Okay, and this is how, like, these ticks are showing the number of movements which are taking place. So here just 1, and here it is say 5 movements, in this case 2 movements, 1 movement. So station say in this case, if you see the movement from station 5 to 2 is say here 5. Okay, and then movement from station 5 to station 8 is just 1. Okay, so if you just see this sum of all movements taking place from station 5 is 6. Okay, now similarly you see the kind of movement which is taking place from station number 9. 1 movement to the station 2, 1 movement to the station 3, 1 movement to the station 4, 1 movement to, like this. Okay, so the total movements are 7. Similarly, if you see the number of movements which are taking place from station 2 to the station 5 is 1, 6 is 1, 7 is 1, and then certainly you have large number of the movements. Okay, like say 6 or 7 number of the movements, 6 movements to the station 9, and then 1 movement to the station 10. So total number of movements from station to the from station 2 is 10. Okay, so this is summary of all movements from stations, and this shows the summary of all two stations. So here you see whatever the movement is taking place from stations, the same number we get to the two stations also. So whatever movement is taking place from one particular station, whosoever is coming in will be taking exit also and will be going somewhere else. Okay, so the movements from to the two stations, like from here you see movement to the two stations to station number 1 is 2, that is same as here. Then station movements to the two stations to 2 is 10, that is here. Then station 3 movements to the station 3 is 3. So like 2, 3, 3, 6, 6, 5, 5. So these are the same numbers. So what we get, like some of these numbers will be same if the journey is completed by the particular subject. So whosoever will be coming out of particular station will be going in a particular station will also be coming out. Okay, so if we see the maximum movement, where the maximum movement, where and where from maximum movement is taking place. So busiest stations, if you see busiest stations, what are those busiest stations where the movement is maximum? So if we see this, then the number 10 movements are taking place, whether incoming or outgoing, that is 2. The next second busiest station is 5, 6 movements, that is 5, 2, and another one is 7. Sorry, this is the third one, and the second busiest is 9. Okay, 9 station. So if we see the 2, 5, 9 are the busiest stations, and so this diagram or this chart will not show on its own where these are located. So if this chart is clubbed with the layout to show where which station is located, so this is like say layout sketch of the offices showing their location of different stations. So here we can see the location of the different stations. Okay, and if we have the busiest stations, let's say 2 to 9 movement is maximum. Okay, that is 10. So the one possibility that we can explore is, let's see if the 2 and 9 can be brought close to each other. Similarly, the 7 movements which are here, like then see the 5 and the movement, there are 6 number of movements at station 5. So since this is the busiest route and the maximum movement since taking place between the 2 and 9, so we can explore the possibility if the 2 and 9 or 5 can be brought close to each other. This is how the travel chart is used. So based on the frequency of movement and the location of the stations, decision is made to see if some kind of the change in the relocating of certain stations can be brought in, so that the distances traveled can be reduced considering the frequency of movement. Okay, so this is about the what you say the travel chart. Sometimes travel chart is here it is just, since it is just talking about the frequency. Okay, there can be number of other situations also, like not just the frequency but the kind of the load or the number of items which are being transported between certain stations in each journey. Okay, so it is possible that you have just the 2 number of movements, but the amount transferred or the quantity moved is very high. Say in 2 movements transferring 50 units, while in other cases in 10 movements just transferring 40 units. Okay, so only if it is about the material handling case, so the frequency of the movement may not be that important, but it may also be important to see really what is the quantity or what are the number of items which are being moved. So in case of the material handling case, it would be appropriate also to see that what is the quantity of the items, what are the number of items to be moved. So in case of the man type, if we are simply tracking the man movement for the improvement, then it is fine. But if it is about the material handling, where certain volume is to be moved using the different material handling devices, in those cases not just the frequency is to be seen, but also the quantity of the items is also should also be seen to see that if the relocation will help in reducing the in totality, reducing the movement in totality. Okay, so this diagram, basically this is another example of the travel chart. What it shows, like the movement from stations to the 2 stations. There are say 9 stations, 1 2 3 4 5 6 8 9. Okay, likewise here. And what it shows, movement from station 1 to the station 6 is just one movement, and the 20 units are being transported. Okay, movements of particular item. Then movement from station 2 to station 5, there are 2 movements, but 70 in total, 70 units are transported. From station 3 to 2, just one movement, and there is no quantity being transported. From station 4 to station 3, one movement and 40 units are being transported. From station 6 to 1, there are 2 movements, one with the 40 units movement, and station 6 to 3, one movement, 40 units being moved, and station 4, no units being moved. Okay, so here now likewise station from movements from station 7 to station 1, 40 units, one movement 20 units, one movement 20 units. Okay, similarly from station 9 to the station 9 to the station 6, so many movements. I think this is accounting for 120. Okay, and this is there are 3 movements with the 40 total units, and the one movement with the 40 units. So the total movement in terms of the number of units being moved, that is what is being summarized here. So number of units of particular item may be more important which is being moved. So number of trips and the number of units being moved, both can be summarized. So station from the movements from station 1, number of movements are 3 and number of units being moved is 50. Okay, then number of then here from station 2, the number of movements is 4, units being moved is 80, and similarly we can see in other cases. So here the station 9 is having the maximum number of the travel, and total units moved is 180. Then second highest quantity is station 2, where the 4 movements and 80 units are being moved. So like this we can see. Okay, so here these travels are fine. So here now we can see the number of trips and the kind of the movement. Now when these are clubbed, with the layout of these stations, where which station is located, and based on the volume to be transported between the two stations, and if the volume to be moved is high, then decision can be taken to relocate those two stations having the highest volume of the movement in order to reduce the work, reduce the efforts, and increase the productivity. So this is the another aspect where the quantity of the items to be moved is considered, not just the movement number of the frequency, a number of the movements or the frequency of the movements. So this was all about the travel chart, which is used in combination with the flow, with the layout of the plant, to see really what kind of the relocation which can be brought in, relocation can be done to reduce the total distance traveled, or to improve the productivity of the situation. So